everybody this morning. Happy Friday. So I have pinned my backup just in case something happens and we go down. That is where we will all meet again. Although it hasn't happened yet, we always have to be prepared. Good morning, good morning. So we're going to get right into it. This morning, we are going to talk about Kesha. I know I gave a little bit of an update yesterday, but she's trying it. Tim and Angela, of course, and what I believe to be a disgusting turn of events. Miss Maggie, I'll save what I think for her. Christina, J. Paul, Caitlin, and Sheena. And of course, we still have the bracket to do. And I have a little bit of raising the consciousness about one of them. Good morning, Sherry. Good morning. So I asked two things. If you're a member of the team, hit the daily heart me. If you are not, stick around. And if you enjoy what you hear, join the team. And every time I change a photo, wait, who just said that? Jody, exactly. Every time I change the photo, please like the live until you see the heart. Continue liking until you see the heart's tail. Feel the heart's tail, and then take a break. As I always say, there are two reasons. Reason one is so that they can't take us down, and reason two is so that we can end up on the For You feed. And we can, good morning, I'm from Florida too. And then this way, we can hopefully come across people who may have never heard of these people, who may have considered gifting, and they can find out what they're really about. And then they can also learn the pattern. Because some of us now, as soon as we see them, we know. As soon as we see them, we know. So, let's start with the low-hanging fruit. Now, I can't even go through the number of times she comes on in a day. When she gets challenged in any way, shape, or form, when anybody clocks anything about her and her behavior, she will end and come back a little while later. Now, apparently, someone got a hold of some messages she was sending back and forth with someone, and they let a mod know. She was on 330 begging for the same $11. I think she switched from 20 to 11 because everybody was like, why is it always $20? And she's saying it's 11 to go pick up her check. I saw her at 1 something in the morning, and I asked her if she could pick up her check in the middle of the night, and she ended. What? Forever Strong? Oh, I'm so sorry. This is why I do what I do, because I'm trying to prevent kind people who think that they're helping out. So she got the money on Monday and is still asking for the same amount. Guys, good morning, Granny Annie. Hey, football head. I cannot stress enough that this is for rugs. Good morning, Erica. Schindler, Daisy May. Good morning, everyone. It's for rugs. Why would she always be sitting in a closet on the floor But yesterday, she took it up a notch by boohoo crying. Wait, let me see if I have the photo. Give me a second. Oh, yeah, I do. We're crying over the $11. Helen Rose, at one something this morning, somebody asked her if she even had the job, and she pulled up the same picture she's been using for weeks. Why is it always the same photo? Why is it always the same photo? You mean to tell me you go to work? I'll give her 3 times a week. And the only time you took a picture was once? Oh, thank you, Granny Annie. Correct. Her job is scamming. Period and point blank. That is her job. And so she couldn't keep the $20 up there and be like, I need it to get to work. How have you been getting to work all this time? If now you need $11 to go pick up a check. And we've been at this for days. And now we see that someone gave, we know she got the $11. And you want to know how I know? Because she came back. Let's see, do I have it? No. She came back eating chicken. Right after this whole charade of crying, she came back. I think she was eating chicken. I'll be honest. I don't know what she was eating. And she was like, I'm back. I'm so much better now. Why? Why? What happened? Because you're still asking for the same $11 to pick up your check. Yes, this is Caitlin. Let me go back so that you guys can, this is Caitlin Kitchen. And I'm not doxing her because her CA is that name. Or PP, whatever it is. Whatever she's using, that's the name she uses. So, not doxing. Love to be hated. She did. Really, Sunflower? This is her at. Mind your business. Oh, right. I left out the B. How did I do that? Yo, I be moving too fast. I'm sorry. It's mind your, YHUR business. It's her at and her name. Now I gotta fix that. Lord have mercy. I apologize. I'm gonna write it down so I don't forget. Thank you, Erica. Go watch her for yourself if you've never seen her before. I'll go check it. Hey, Tina. So, I'm sorry, Caitlin, but as long as you do what you're doing, I'm going to talk about it. Because sometimes she is on 25 times a day. And when she's not getting a conversation, when she's not getting movement, when she's not seeing new people come in, she ends and comes back. ends and comes back. Somebody questions her about something that is a clue to what's going on, she ends and comes back. Because what she's hoping is that the person who said something the first time won't come back the next time. And sure enough, by 3:30 in the morning, I was asleep. I was up super late last night, but not at 3:30. By 3:30, I was asleep. I was up until 2 o'clock maybe, because Sheena, J. Paul, and Maggie decided to be up that late. So I was up that late. And at some point, I just had to say, they're going to stay on. I have to go. Like, I got to get up at 6:30. I got to go. But please, I know sometimes it is frustrating when you message someone and they either block you, tell you to mind your business. Please continue. Please. Wait, what happened? Absolutely, Cindy Lou. Happy Friday. So continue, because people are very kind, and they see her upset and crying and just thinking, I can forego $11. I can forego $20. I don't think it took her 7 or 8 hours. I think she just keeps asking. And let's not forget that there was a moment in time, and I don't know for a fact that she's still living there, because it doesn't matter to me, but there was a time where the person she was living with was a self-admitted rug dealer. And not only did he sell them, but he said he must sell them for somebody, because he was like, I kept a couple behind for us. Good morning, Teresa. So it's not like she has to get the money, go somewhere, and come back. If she's still at home with the person who is selling, she has her rug dealer in the home. So it's why she can go get it and come back and be a completely different person. Oh no, they're too different. They are too different. The other Caitlyn and this one, they just have the same name, and they both beg, and they both have issues, but they are not the same. It does get confusing. That's why I make sure that I put the @ there so that you can see, because the other cat is cat099. Right, Cassidy. She gets her fix and then she's cool. But within so long, she wants another one. Oh, thank you. Happy Friday. So if you guys haven't watched her, haven't seen her, check her out. Oh, that's hilarious. Listen, it's sad for her, because there literally was this moment where she was like, I'm going to get myself together. And she was talking to people within the tent, and they were like, everybody lay off. They even paid for her hotel room that night, which I thought was a little, but it wasn't my money, so that's what y'all wanted to do, be my guest. But they paid for her hotel. They asked everybody to lay off. I got in the live and I said, no problem. I will lay off of you. And when she came back, she was working. She had her girlfriend. She still had her car. She was doing her thing. And she's like, I'm working full time. Then she came back and said that they were engaged. And she was talking about getting rings. And she was like, we're about to get our place, but I don't know whether to get the place or the rings. Like, she was high off life and what was happening. Oh, thank you, Tracy. So, right, Amy. And part of what they were messaging each other were messages that she had sent to somebody that weren't nice, kind, or respectful, amongst other things. And when they started to question her about it, she got pissed off. So they shared with each other. And I don't know how she has a mod left. I really don't. Is Princess here? Oh, thank you. Okay. If somebody sees Princess, let me know. Trying to get $11 for 75. Who's next? Let's talk about it. Christina. And I should have changed I meant to change, because that is not the account she is on anymore. What is the account she is on now? It is Christina Click. Well, you haven't seen her because she hasn't really been going live on the accounts we're familiar with. It's Christina Click or at Christina Wilson 15. I don't know why they think that they can hide by creating a new account, because you keep doing the same thing. I'm eventually going to come across you. And if I don't, somebody else is, and they're going to send it to me. So, again, she lost a lot of people. Why? Because she convinced her mods and her enablers that she was running from her boyfriend, who was abusive, that she was pregnant, and that because she was being followed around and harassed, she needed to get out of there. And she even stayed in a tent for a few days to seem even more desperate. What would have pissed me off is that her biggest enabler / mod bought the tent, bought a fan, bought a couch that could be a bed. I mean, like she was going to be there a long time. And then she just left it all. Can you imagine spending that much money and after 2 or 3 days, they're like, I'm out? And they got more money from other people to just leave, and she just abandoned it as if she knew she would never need it again. So, but they ride with her no matter what. They ride with her. And she ends up, she takes like a train and a bus and a a Uber, and she gets to this place and she gets in a hotel room and she's supposed to go check in, but instead of checking in wherever she was supposed to be going, she was more concerned about getting her subs, which I can understand. I can honestly understand that. But why were you in such a rush to leave that you didn't stick around to get him? What was the rush? She made it seem like she was in fear for herself and that the place she was going, she needed to be there by a certain day. But then when she gets there, that day moves. And they keep really good for Lauren. Good for Lauren. Because Lauren is the one that has been funding her the most, in my opinion. So Lauren is the one who bought the tent and the bed and the fans, all of it. So imagine you're supporting your friend. She's in a DV situation. She's pregnant. She's in fear of her life because people are following her around. And let's not forget, he left her and went home to his parents. He's only, 20 now? Just turned 20? And she's in her mid-30s? And I was happy for him. Because I was like, now you got people who love you regardless. And they can see you on the right path. So they swallowed everything and watched her leave all that stuff behind so she could go somewhere safe. Just to end up in the town he was in. Can you imagine thinking that you are saving someone from a DV situation for her to go back to the town he was in? Daisy May, I feel you, but he's young. He's young, and he's young enough that his frontal lobe hasn't closed. He is bound to still be making decisions because he doesn't have a full adult brain, A, and B, he's being manipulated by a grown woman. So I can understand parents being like, we need to get him home. Maybe if we get him home, we can put him on the right path. But right. Spot for Spirit, you are the abusive one. I'm not saying that he doesn't abuse her, because she shows up with bruises and she talks about it and he be right there. But she is I won't say she's the master manipulator of the two. And she's literally, what they put in cows' noses so that you can move them around easily because they don't like that to be tugged on? That is what she's doing to him. She is dragging him around by his nose, convincing him that she knows better for him than anybody else. Girl, what? You're old enough to be his mother. And listen, age gap relationships are a thing. But they shouldn't be a thing that includes manipulation. Especially not by the adults. So, you then show up in a place, you go away. And when you pop back up, you are in a church-based system. I don't even know what to call it. You live at the church, you eat at the church, you go to church, you get counseling at the church, group therapy at the church. Everything is at the church. And of course, she endeared herself. She endeared herself to the pastor's wife. Because she's always like, I got to talk to the pastor's wife. But imagine everybody's surprise when he was sitting right next to her. Yes, she goes live from church. What I love is that the men and the women can't live together. They live in the same building, but she has a room with the women, he has a room with the men. Imagine you thought you were getting her away from him just for her to show up in his town, and she's still saying she's pregnant. Now, it is rare for her to show her midsection. But she did the other day, and I was like, Kiki is showing more than she is. Yes, her cousin covers her. But it was the cousin, White Sox. Why do you always have to come for the phone? Please find somewhere to go. Please. Look. See? You done knocked the phone over, buddy. Right here. Right here. Stay right here. You're okay. Stay right here. You're good. Not on the notebook either. Thank you very much. They say hi to you, buddy. Oh, I was supposed to show a picture of them the other day, wasn't I? Okay. So now she's saying on this new account that her new backup, because this wasn't her backup before. This is a new backup. Oh, thank you. They gave you a cat hand, buddy. Thank you, guys. That was cute. I've never seen that before. So, God, I lost my train of thought. Dang it. Oh, this is the new backup. And she said, I lost a lot of friends. I lost a lot of friends. I bet you did. You'd have certainly lost me. You would have certainly lost me. Because how dare you play on people's feelings? I guarantee you some of them women have been in DV situations. And so they supported her thinking we're getting her away. Her cousin is mean and nasty. Even though her cousin was able to prove that when she said she was alone, she was with him as well. She was with him then. Oh, I keep saying him. His name is Caden. She was at the library claiming to be alone, even though there was live video with him outside, and people were in her chat saying, "You're with him," and she was like, "No, I'm not." And people are like, "We see you outside with him." So what does she do? She texts him and tells him to move, and then she goes outside and like pans around in front of the library and was like, "Where is he?" Bitch, please. We saw him. Girl. And the fact that people stuck with her then, again, Mashugana, like, what? Y'all just want to believe her so badly? Are you afraid that you threw your money in the toilet, that you want to believe her so badly that when it is literally in your face, y'all deny it? Don't believe your lying eyes, because your eyes are seeing it, but your brain refuses to compute. But I guess this time was enough for people. They had seen it so many times that it was like, enough is enough. Correct, Epi baby. Until she screws Rose over, Rose is gonna be there. And is Rose in somebody else's chat? I'm just asking. Another scammer. Her name is Christina Wilson. She has a new account that she's been going live on here. No, oh, she's been in Kesha's live? That's what I thought. I took a photo of a Rose Wilson in Kesha's live, and I was like, are we supporting somebody else that's a scammer? Like, do y'all get a thrill out of helping scammers? Again, Michigana. Are you sick of Carrie and you're looking for another place to jump? Because yeah, she's Carrie Wall's mod, but she was somewhere else. I don't even know how to say your name. Is it Sinise? Let me write it down, Sinise, because I get a lot of messages. I have a bolo, but I had so much to do today. And this bolo already has a nasty attitude. I was like, girl. You were on here begging for your life and you already have an attitude because people are asking you questions about all of your poor decisions? Oh, I got... Wait until you get there. Oh, I know about Skylin. Presently, I can't get any messages on Discord because while I was on my way to an appointment yesterday, I decided to try to look up Discord while I was driving. And I hit something and it asked me for my date of birth. And I was at a light, so I thought, oh, okay, mind you, don't have a clue why they were asking me for my date of birth. And in my haste, I put in that I was 12. And it didn't give me an opportunity to forget it. They locked my account. So I can't even get into Discord right now. And then let me tell y'all, I had to put my name and my original Discord name that has the 4. By the way, guys, go into your account on Discord if you have Discord and take a photo of the name that has the pound sign that and the 4 digits after. I was fortunate enough that before they locked me out of one phone but not the other. And I was able to take a screenshot before they shut that one down too. So please go to your account and it's at the bottom like of your profile and take a snapshot if it's because you need those 4 digits if anything ever happens. I don't have a Discord suite. I have an account, but I don't have a Discord. Can you imagine me managing a Discord on top of everything else? Oh, we're going to do the bracket today, too. So, I had to write that down, write the name that I'm using now, write the email that I was using, and my ID. And I had to take a selfie with all of that in the same selfie. Sure, Mama Bear. I was like, I can't just send you my ID. I've been on here for years. Good morning.
Good morning. Can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now I got my earbud working. For some reason it wasn't working. Um, Christina stated, I think it was like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, that she lost the baby, for one. For two, I follow her on Facebook. Supposedly now, probably about 10 hours ago, Caden choked her just outside of the church.
What?
Yep. And somebody on there is still believing that she is pregnant. But
That's
yeah,
so
choked her,
bad.
headlocked her, everything right in front of the house, right next to the church.
Really? Is she bruised up this time?
She didn't show no pictures, so hopefully she'll come on today. But I know when I seen her early yesterday morning, she was completely nodding out in church and then jumped up real quick and ran outside with the rest of them.
Yeah, I think she takes too many of her subs, to be
I
honest.
agree. I agree.
I think she takes too many of her subs, and then she's panicking the rest of the month. She's
But
not
she'll
that all the
definitely be
time.
on sometime today.
Yeah, she will be, because I find it. Oh, hey, princess. Hey, Candy. I find it interesting that when people start to clock her, things like this happen.
Right, right. But she also stated yesterday, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but she only has 9 days
Mm-hmm.
left in this program, which today would make it 8, and then she's supposed to go on to work program.
Right. And I think, what, doesn't he have a day longer or something like that?
Yeah,
Oh,
something like that.
hold on. I will type it in the chat. Is it gonna let me type it in the chat? It is not giving me the Oh, okay. I'll use this one. Hold on. It's Christina. Click, and the at is Christina Wilson 15.
Oh yeah, she did state they'll take 80% of her pay for housing.
Oh, I can't pin it. Dang.
Now I'll leave in a minute. Um, that they're going to take 80% of her pay and hold it until she gets out of that program. This way she has money, I guess, or something along that line. I couldn't understand her very well.
She must she must be going through this program and hoping by the end as well that she's able to get housing and everything taken care of. She didn't pick this place lightly by any means.
Right, right.
So, yeah. Oh,
But
sorry. Okay. Did you? Okay, I thought you wanted up. Sorry, sorry.
but
Well,
that's all I wanted to say real quick.
well, I appreciate you because you had information I didn't. So I appreciate you coming up and sharing it with everybody. Now I need to go on Facebook. Can you send me her Facebook?
Yes, I will.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a good day, everyone.
You too.
Oh, I'm still going to sit and chat till it's time for work, and then probably at work still have you in my ears.
Thank you, Mama. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And see, that's why we're a collaboration. That's why. And I love that for us. Cause I don't need to know everything. What I don't know, y'all do. And I appreciate you for it. But that's crazy. If he did that to her right outside the church, and she's telling people on Facebook, did she tell the people? Right, the hills have eyes, and so does TikTok. for fact. My thing is, did she tell them? Because if she told them, wouldn't he be kicked out? Right. Is it Joanne or Joni? So many people have been on subs for years and don't nod out. Why? Because they use them properly. You can tell when someone isn't. Oh, thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that. Mister is at work, as usual. I tell him all the time that I'm not worried about another woman. His mistress is work. I don't even have to worry about it. Because if there's, he was like, I'm not going to work on Saturday. I promise, I promise. Guess who was at work on Saturday? Who's next? Since I didn't really get to her the other day, I just kind of mentioned it. So she's back with Eric. He was gone for a while. He was in a program and he seemed to be doing well. Yes, everybody tap, tap, tap until you feel the heart's tail, then take a break. If you want to tap after that, be my guest. So she has multiple accounts, but this is the Smith underscore Kesha is the one she goes live on the most. Good morning for anybody coming in. Good morning. So she had a job. She was renting a room. Make sure you hear me clearly on that. She didn't have an apartment. She had a room. And of course, the bathroom is in the kitchen. And I remember when she first moved in, she wanted to get her own plates and pots and pans. And I understand that. But over time, she seemed to be getting better. She was asking less. And in fact, basically walked away from the app. If she was on here, she wasn't on here begging. And he's in a facility. He eventually gets like day passes or weekend passes or whatever, but he always has to go back. And it seemed to me that it allowed her to focus. Every once in a while she would have something. So I didn't realize this, but in Canada, going to the doctor or going to the hospital or taking an ambulance is covered. But that doesn't mean that your medication is covered. And at first, I was like, isn't everything covered? But you know me, I'm going to go do the research. And I found out that it is not automatically covered. So she had gone to the hospital and she needed medication. And so I couldn't ding her for that because it's not covered. However, she again stopped after that. Oh, I know King Diamond. She's not new. She's not new to the grid either. But she had walked away from begging for a second. Now it seems like he may be out. And when I say he, I mean Eric. And suddenly, she doesn't have money for anything. So first, it was her entire rent check. Oh, really, Missy Muffy? Okay. It was way more than that, Karina. It was way more than that. She needed 100 and 100 and something. I wrote down 65, 55, and she still needed more. For her rent. And oh, you can hear him purring? Wow. I didn't even realize you could hear him purring. And her excuse is that she doesn't get paid enough. Well, ma'am, you don't have any responsibilities. It's funny because y'all can hear it. I can barely hear it. Lay down, buddy. Don't get up. I'm sorry. I stopped rubbing him for a second to turn the page. Yes, Karina, I'm going to get there. So, if you don't have enough money to cover your rent, get a second job. Crystal, don't lie to yourself. No, he's not. Don't lie to yourself. He is far from a good boy. He's a good boy in this moment. So let's give him credit for that. But that's because I'm rubbing on him. So, you were able to pay your rent up till now. The only thing that's different is that he's in your face every day. So she got that covered. And then, and I'm going to be honest, I don't even know if she got it all. But then she needed money for her Wi-Fi and her power not to get cut. Now, my question is, if in fact you are renting a room, how would your Wi-Fi and power get cut off? Now, Wi-Fi, if you had to get it yourself, okay. But the power in the whole house? Correct, Daisy May. But my problem with her is that I think when she is away from him, she does way better than when he's around. Chastity, I guess. That is a possibility. But she had enough before his existence. Right. The electric company, Hydro, is just going to shut off her room and leave it on for the rest of the house. Get a second job, ma'am. You don't have children. And even people with children, sometimes they have to have 2 and 3 jobs to make ends meet. But no, you have over time realized that TikTok is your lotto giveaway. Because you can't say alone because she's not paying anybody back. It's not a bank. It's a lotto giveaway. It's the sweepstakes. Right, Daisy May? Like, wait, in Canada, they can't shut off gas or power in the winter months starting in October. Ain't that interesting, Missy Buffy? But this is what kills me. I don't know if they're searching to be mods, but Lee21_09, why are you telling everyone in the chat to send her $5? And then Sherry, mom of 2, why are you suggesting that people please help her? And then Melissa Ann 866, you told her you were broke. And she even said, Sherry, she even said, I know your situation. You don't need to send it to me. And you sent her money anyway? Melissa Ann, you don't have your own bills? Because if you're broke, how are you broke and sending somebody else money who could work on her own? She could get another job. But I find it so funny that we need to mind our business. But as long as people are begging for them, that's okay. You tell me, why am I worried about what's in other people's pockets? Well, why are these enablers worried about what's in everybody else's pockets? How about you mind your business? You keep doing it, Sangria Queen. Here we go. We were fine. We were fine. Come on. Sit back down. You're still purring, but you want to move out of the way. Good morning, Kel Candy. Please be here for this. Matter of fact, now that she's here, let's do it. You're okay, buddy. You're okay. Well, haven't talked about her in a minute, but she's been out of control, in my opinion. And when she said, F the judge, this is my mouth, ma'am, you better hope the judge is like, I'm going to let her pass. Because what? And I'm sure that her public defender will be like, she doesn't understand. She understands very well. Her and Tristan use their delay as the excuse for why they don't know anything. But they know enough to beg. They know enough to travel alone. They know enough to be here, there, and everywhere. They're able to buy their own plane tickets, bus tickets, train tickets, go to events. They know how to do all of that on their own. Yes, Julie. She said, that's the first thing I think I wrote down. No, the second thing. The first thing she said was that she has screenshots and video and she's going to, talk about the old man, which is all for one. I don't recall him being a party to the suit that you faced. I know I certainly am not. I know she has nothing. But it gets her people riled up. And they're like, yep, she said she is pursuing justice for Maggie. So now we speak in the third person, Maggie. If you know how to speak in the third person, then you know exactly what you're doing. Yes, Sandy, I was there for the live last evening with his mother, and I felt so bad for her. Because here she is fighting for her life, trying to let people know what's what. And his enablers have people believing that she is the worst thing since sliced bread. Okay, I'm going to rub you. Jesus Christ. What do you mean you're going to pursue justice for Maggie? Maggie, pursuing justice for Maggie doesn't include saying, F the judge, this is my mouth. Because whatever you give the judge, when she finds that out and you're standing in front of her, what do you really think that she wants to start talking about your evidence? Or is she gonna say, what did you mean by that exactly? So then she said, if there's anyone in the live who isn't saying anything, block them. Maggie, blocking is symbolic because all we have to do is have another account. And I love when people be like, when you get it, it's so weird that you have other accounts. Why? Tell Mr. Sassy I said, what's up? Are you mad about All for One's live? Facts, Cindy. I wish he would do a video like that. Okay. Yes, no, but even if you turn off your viewer rankings, they can go on the back end and see who's there, even in ghost mode. Uh-oh, he's gone. He's gone. Oh, nope. He made a beeline back. What do you want, buddy? Oh, I'm sure. So she can be in there and watch who's who and block them. Why can't you pin? I didn't do anything. You can be in there and take everything down, but we're supposed to not be in your live. Oh, okay. The one thing you can't block is window watching. So if she's blocked you and you want to watch from the window. I know it used to kill me to watch from the window, but I just watch from the window now. Now you don't know that I'm watching because I'm window watching. You had to figure, hold on, guys. He had to figure out a way to get in my lap. Okay, is that better? So then she went on her, thank you. She went on her own rant last night about how she was going to support all the beggars of TikTok. Girl, you better stay focused on yourself, okay? You ride it. So then she was like, we shouldn't care about Kiki, Quay, and Z and how many babies they have. She said that either we were mad that we can't have kids, mad that we aren't getting anything, and upset that we don't have the support they have. Let me correct the record, okay? I'm not mad about any of those things. Oh, right, and grip. You are correct. And grip. I'm not mad about any of those things. Nor am I mad, period. I'm not mad at all. I'm disappointed, which for me is far worse. Because you are normalizing individuals making decisions and then expecting other people to fix it. And of course, everybody she named was somebody of color. And so I have a personal gripe, I guess I could say. Thank you. I have a personal gripe. Because here you are, Kiki, with 2 sets of twins and a single. I don't know exactly how you're paying your bills, but everybody still knows your payment apps. And there's no way that you aren't getting that place subsidized. It might not be Section 8, But there's something. And if you were really making money, the house would be furnished. And then, while people supported you through this, mind you, you almost unalived the last time you had children. And at that point, you only had 3. The babies you have now are still in diapers. I don't know if she has a single baby or twins, but she makes jokes all the time like, oh, yes, I'm pregnant with triplets. So I don't know. And the last time I really paid attention when she was talking about it, she was like, the doctors don't know if it's a single or twins. So you are putting your life on the line again, which would be leaving 5 children alone so that you could do what? See, I am not suggesting that she have a procedure to take care of it. Not by a long shot. What I am saying is, why didn't you take any precautions to prevent it? You can't afford the ones you have. And when somebody said to her, like, Trump is going to take food stamps away, she was like, I don't care about that. I'm always going to have food stamps. How? Because you know that having more children adds you back to the food stamp and WIC situation? That as long as you have a small baby, they can't make you put that small baby in daycare? You have children in diapers. They're not potty trained yet, which means a lot of places won't even take them yet. And you're having another baby or 2 with a man that isn't even consistent? No, I'm talking about Kiki. But just to bring people up who may have just come in, she said that she was going to defend all the beggars of TikTok. And she named 4 in particular: Kiki, Quay, Z, and Grip. Quay is what? Kid number 10? Z has what? 6? Grip has 5? But Grip was taking care of her family, I don't know how well or not, before TikTok. TikTok blew up for her, and she had the opportunity to turn it into something, and she blew it all up. And now she's begging. Quay's on her way to 15. Why, first of all, why is the assumption that I want any more kids? Or any of us want any more kids? A. B. Why is the assumption that my back doesn't get blown out? It does. It does. But even when I could afford another child, the marriage I was in didn't feel right to bring a child into it. There was something off. And initially I couldn't decide what it was. But I am glad now that we didn't have a child, so he could go his way and I could go mine. When I was of the ripe age, ready to have a baby, my husband passed away. I'm glad we didn't have a child, because then I would be raising a child without a father, and they would have been young when it happened. He already had 4 children from a previous marriage that had to grow up without him. Wise decisions. Not, I can do whatever I want and other people need to pay for it. So you sound crazy talking about you're going to support all of the beggars on TikTok. Be my guest. It is your live, it is your account. Turn your light on and do whatever you want. But you look silly. You look silly. Because the rest of us women of color don't find it cute at all. You aren't providing the children you're making with any stability whatsoever. Mimi, she has a delay. She's not slow by any means. And this is the last thing I'm gonna say on it. You're having babies you cannot afford, which is your right. But the children didn't ask to live in abject poverty. The children didn't ask to have to beg to have a Christmas gift. And you continue to have more and more children. And for all of the supporters, you're supporting her. You're saying, how congratulations. For what? What are you congratulating? Japonica, we all do. We've been feeling bad for her kids before this. Now she's going to add more. That's right. Maggie books flights, travels alone, goes where she wants to go. She gets on here with a list of things. Maggie does not have children. I'm saying that Maggie said she was going to support all the beggars on TikTok and named 4 creators in particular that have a number of children that they can't afford, that they have to get on TikTok and beg about. And what I'm saying is, she is trying to make it that we're mad about their circumstances. I wouldn't switch with them on my worst day. I wouldn't switch with them on my mad and jealous about what? That I have to come on TikTok to make sure that I can take care of my family? That the only thing I can provide my kids are the basic needs that I get money from the government for? What, did your kids go anywhere this summer? Did your kids go on vacation? Have your children ever been out of the state that you live in when it wasn't a funeral? Do you talk to your children about their future and about going to school, or are you just raising them to be like you? Daisy May, they'll be in an uproar that the government took it away. They'll be in an uproar. There was a point in time where people wanted better for their children than they wanted for themselves. And so you make decisions based on that. Sassy girl Kiki's oldest daughter goes to school when she feels like it, seemed like to me. Why is she always in the bed asleep? Why are you allowing her to stay up all night on her phone doing whatever it is that she's doing, and then she don't got to go to school? So that tells me that education for you isn't important. If you want better for your children, the one thing you want them to do is to get an education, because that is the key out of poverty. Or are you training her to be a social media star? And so therefore, you're not going to need geometry. And those are the people who get a manager and a lawyer and a financial advisor who takes all their money and they end up broke because they don't know how to count money themselves. They don't know anything about paying taxes. They don't know anything about paying expenses. And so, therefore, when the lawyer or the financial advisor just says, just sign this check, they do so. It's not cute. It's not funny. Now, I'm not saying they don't love their children. I'm not saying that they don't want the best for their children, but they're making decisions that are going to make it harder. And the idea that it's other people's responsibility to cover your continued errors is a falsity. Really, Japonica? When your children have to make that compromise, you shouldn't be having children. I don't remember Kiki. I don't know that I have it written down. I just come across her from time to time. I saw her just the other day, but I don't think I wrote it down. But Maggie, please keep running your mouth. Keep allowing people to get you to say things and do things and act in a way that the judge, she has so many accounts, Berries, but that is one of them. But I don't think that's the one she goes live on right now. But it could be. I don't know. Keep it up. You, right, that's it. Kiki baby to you. Yep, that's it. Mrs. Mandy, thank you. That's the one she goes live on now. Hold on, let me see. But she's not the only one. We got Z and we got Quay. And Grip literally had all the opportunities. But she did it again. She was put in situations that weren't comfortable for her. It was over her head in some cases. And she didn't know how to act, how to behave. And so she used to get invited places. She used to get things for free. She used to get promoted. And now she's back to begging. And people love Grip. But she squandered an opportunity that could have taken her children and herself out of poverty. Right. Who wants to survive? I want to live. Unscripted reality, that may be true, but that's not moving fast enough. That's not moving fast enough. So all I'm going to say is keep listening to your people. They are guiding you incorrectly. And it's not even just the mods, but the people in the chat have no idea of the ramifications, nor do they care because they won't be her ramifications. They won't be your ramifications. So they don't care. Just like when I talked about the fact that the nurses at the hospital asked her to stop eating and they thought it was funny that she continued. It's not their ramifications, so they don't really care. They say they care about her. They say they like her because she's funny, but when she puts herself in harm's way, y'all still think it's funny? She was on a blocking spree last night. Daisy May, let me say this to you, and I say this all the time. If you qualify for something, go get it. It's there for a reason, and if other people get it, why can't you? But my question is, at what point do you want to get past just having enough? Listen, I repost a lot. Keep it up though. Keep it. You're, ma'am, you're talking about your evidence, girl. You get recorded every day. And I don't have to do it because other people are doing it. Beverly, I bet they are. But keep it up. Keep ignoring the judge's orders. Let's see how it works out. Corgi. That was funny. For once, they aren't last. So on Thursday, he came on talking about how he was slightly petrified. No room and no food. Now, my question is, it was too hot in the summer, and now you're already complaining about it being too cool? Sir, I thought this is what you were looking forward to, that you wouldn't mind being in the car when it was cooler, but her seizures and everything else was too, she couldn't be in the heat. But now it's going to be too cool. Make it make sense. Connie, around here, you're an adult. If you scroll out and scroll back in, you do not have to announce it. You are free to come and go as you please. You don't have to tell me. You don't have to apologize. It happens, especially when you're liking the live or touching to see somebody's comment. Don't worry. Oh, the dog. I could go through everything he said, but let me make this point. When they don't need shit from anybody, they don't have a lot to say. Remember when he still had the room until Wednesday, he was talking about watching clouds outside and how peaceful it was. He couldn't think of a single thing to talk about. But boy, hey TikTok president, but boy, when they need money, his mouth doesn't stop moving. It's amazing the difference. Mango, I'm so sorry. I hope that there is a good prognosis, and I want you to live every day and continue to fight. But by Thursday, when he was petrified, he needed prayers. He didn't ask for prayers when he didn't need money. I want prayers every day, whether I'm up or down. because we are going to go on a roller coaster ride. That's life. Oh, Mingo, you keep fighting. You keep fighting. You keep praying for your miracle. And y'all remember I said the word miracle because that's gonna come up later. What the hell? That's gonna come up later. Remember I said the word miracle. We will pray for your miracle. Right, Red Devil? Exactly. So you are concerned about freezing, meaning your phone, because obviously the bill isn't paid. Obviously the bill isn't paid. So we're back to using Wi-Fi. So he actually has in the sticker, let me know I'm freezing. How's somebody gonna let you know? You're frozen. Correct, Kelly Givens. We gonna get there. And of course, their last night in the hotel, they didn't sleep well. Of course. They had a horrible night. His body was all cramped up. And because he was cramping up, she couldn't sleep. She had a horrible night. This is my question. Why is it that on the mornings when you need the hotel room, you're begging from the car while she gets to lay in the bed? Why? Because if she's not with you, then she isn't obligated to say thank you? Correct, scam opera. Always. Again, though, when they don't need the money, it's like everything is swimming, and we probably won't even see them today. And but did you notice how he said, even though he got $400, that he only has enough for tonight, and this was last night and tonight? And what irked me the most is that they took the money from apparently a young man with Down syndrome. How dare you? How dare you? When I tell you they don't care, they do not care. They don't know anything about that young man and his expenses. Did they care? No. But I'm wrong for talking about it. I'm wrong for bringing it to the app and letting people know. Um, if they would take from him, they don't care if you end up in the poorhouse as long as they have what they need. And then what's crazy about it is that when they have taken advantage of somebody, they try to turn it around and twist it like that person did them wrong. Yeah, Crawford Lands is somebody I've been watching. They are a bolo on my list at present. I mean, when somebody is a bolo, it's just because I haven't watched them enough. Of course he did, Mama Bear. Yeah, Crawford is live all the time. It's a couple. Why am I not surprised? But let's stay focused on Tim and Angela. So, you mean to tell me that there isn't a too low for you, sir? There isn't a too low for you. Absolutely not, Cindy Lou. And when you got the person holding you accountable saying they don't care if they get their money back, why would he? There's no more pressure. There's no more pressure. Why would somebody else go to work or use their Social Security from the years that they worked? And don't get me started if it's disability, because what? To take care of two able-bodied grown adults? Japonica, he has a responsibility to. He has a responsibility to. Correct, Kelly. Oh, thank you, Sunflower. And now that he knows that the person who was going to hold him accountable is no longer going to hold him accountable, do you really think they're going to see a dime? If you are going to accept money from strangers, it is your responsibility to know. Whose responsibility is it? Sassy girl, I think he did at one time. But again, imagine having all of your expenses covered by strangers and you still qualify for things like food stamps and you can still be on the list for housing. And the only thing you got to do is spend a couple of hours online embarrassing yourself. But when you're that low, you don't care. People do other things and embarrass themselves every day. So how is this embarrassing? Because he's a selfish man. He uses God when he really needs something. Oh, guys, we could use all the prayers. But then when I turn around, churches have offended you. And are you reading the Bible with your wife? Because if you were reading the Bible daily with your wife, you would come across the scriptures that condemn you. You know, what does the scripture say? That the Bible is a double-edged sword or something like that? It will protect you and condemn you. Good morning. Oh, she's all for it. Angie is all for the foolery. But of course, you can't really dig into the Bible because if you do, it will condemn you for what you're doing wrong. And I'm not suggesting that everybody needs to believe or the Bible, they have to be Christians. I'm not suggesting that. But I'm talking about the people who claim. And yet somehow they only find the scriptures that permit what they're doing. Like I said the other day, in Jewish society, according to the Bible, people who grew food were supposed to leave a portion for the widows and the fatherless children. But guess what they had to do? The people who own the land didn't do all of the harvesting, the collecting, and the delivery. The people had to come there and do it themselves. So why? Because I believe it was meant as a way of appreciating it. That you had to put in effort, even though it was going to be free, you had to put in an effort to get it. But they'll miss that lesson and just talk about how God provided for them. But you'll miss the part where they had to go get it. See, what they are accustomed to doing, what they are accustomed to doing is quoting parts of the Bible to people who also don't know what the Bible says. Most religions, most religions in the world, if not all, have a component of being kind to your fellow man, especially to someone that you share a faith with. And they rely on that understanding to take advantage of other like-minded people. That's disgusting. And if you are actually a believer, just know that God watches the good and the bad. What you do that you can hide from humans, you can't hide from him. Regardless of what God you serve, they are all knowing, all powerful, and see everything. Who are we talking about, Berries? Who's going to be mad this morning? Because I'm lost. Oh, she was on the list and she came off because of the bracket. I'm sure she'll be on the. Her account got banned? My own little private celebration because she's right back at it with the same nonsense from before. And of course, it's our fault. Even though the rumor is out there that she got caught stealing at work, I guess other people's tips, it's our fault. And what did she say? I'm afraid to go pick up my last check because they're working with the gang stalkers. Bitch, what? What? Okay. Well, there'll be a new account made because she can't help it. But, ma'am, why do you think people want to watch you lay in the bed, watch TV with that stuffy, because that's supposed to be the replacement for your dog, where you're barely talking? Who wants to watch that? The only people that stick through that are people like me and your sycophants. And even I walk away at some point because it's just the same thing over and over again. Really, Ashley? Isn't that illuminating? Makes so much sense. Makes so much sense. I love when things make sense because then it speaks truth to me. Okay, wait. I'm sorry. Oh, Lord. Sometimes it works. So we might not see, well, he's probably listening. So when I say we're not going to see him, we're going to see him because they're watching. Where did Steve Crick go? Why doesn't Steve Crick come in here anymore? Okay. But you know how I know he's watching? Because some of the things he says and does are a direct answer to what I say and do. So I know he's listening. But now that they have money for a few days and food for a few days, and let me just say something. When when a food stamp situation gets worked out and it was wrong on their end, usually within 48 hours you have the money or the stamps. Because literally it's turn it back on. Now, sometimes they may make you wait. I think it depends on the state. But then he had a nerve to say that he's not sure if the delay is due to the shutdown. What? What? Sir, food stamps are managed on the local state level. The feds come in because they send the state the money. And I think in most states it's a 50-50 mix. The shutdown wouldn't affect the food stamp office locally at all. Not yet, anyway. But use anything. And when you're dealing with a bunch of people who aren't even curious to determine if that's accurate or not, they see that other people are being affected by it. And so, of course, that makes total sense. Your food stamps could be delayed because of the shutdown. Listen, I always ask this. Be a little curious. If you don't know something, look it up. Look it up. There was a time where we had to go to the library. I remember being so full of pride when my parents brought me my own encyclopedias. Until about 3 years later, when I realized that some of the information in there was outdated and we done spent all this money and it's useless. But you know what's funny, Brenda Groves? Didn't he tell us he wasn't going to tell us anything about a job? That's what he said. I'm not going to say anything about a job. And yet, here we go. Thank you, Crystal. Be for real. Oh, you think it was housing? Imagine that. I don't know whether I want them to get housing or not. But if they qualify for it, they should get it. That's what all of us are working hard for, right? Hold on. I got to go back to the grid for a second. Okay. Oh, okay. I was looking in the wrong spot. All right. All right. Okay. Miss Empire herself. So if we recall, well, let me deal with the low hanging fruit first. Hermod Christie, who was bold enough to play my live for them, which thank you, Chef's Kiss, I appreciate it. They wouldn't have heard me otherwise. Um, she started going live. And she told her people she was gonna go live when Sheena and the other person she mods for doesn't go live. It's not a pretty sight. They don't have a clue what to do. But I find it interesting. Hey, Disturbed One, I missed you. Thank you, Tina. I find it interesting that you prop somebody else up to be live all day. And when it's your turn to be live, it's like you're a lost baby. Like you're just doing the wildest things. You don't know what to talk about. You're playing music in the background. You're worried if it's too live. You're just talking. Like it was. But what I found interesting was I came in as digital. Why did it throw you off that I was there? Hey, Awful One. Why was it a problem that I was there? I go into thousands of accounts a day of scammers. I mean, not scammers, of people. Regular people. Most people just say, hi, digital deceivers. And then they go on to the next person. They don't care that I'm there. But what she said was, what did I do? What did I do? Why did you have to do anything just because I'm present? I literally strolled into your live. I didn't go looking for it because I wasn't expecting you to be live. I literally just fell in there. But now that you're making a big deal about it, now I'm curious. You didn't have to say a single word. You could have saw me and been like, okay. And kept it going. But then last night, and I'm going to be honest, just to be funny, she was battling Sheena after midnight. Is that what we're doing now? Is Sheena having such a hard time finding people to battle that she has to battle her own people? When this is the kicker. This is the kicker. It's the same people supporting them. So half of the people are in Christie's live throwing for her. They can't throw for both. Do you think Sheena wasn't like, they're throwing for you? Oh yeah, okay. Oh, okay. Hold on one second. Getting on my effing nerves. Now they couldn't read the date of birth on my ID. You can look at me and see that I'm not a child. Okay, anyway. So I have another 24 hours to wait. You gotta love it. Okay. So let's talk about Sheena for a second. So the other day, I was watching her. Wait a minute. Was I already there? And after all of the hubbubalub, she said, I'm not going to beg anymore. That I want it to happen naturally. And with 20 minutes left to go Wednesday night, she was already losing her shit. And she was trying hard not to lose it. But at one point, I know a little bit, but she doesn't say organically. She says naturally. She started to freak out about her fragment. And so at first she was like, and so I'm just asking because I really don't want to lose the fragment because it'll be so hard to get it back. I don't want to lose the fragment. And then at some point, somebody was like, "Are you begging?" And she was like, "Yes, fine. I'm begging for the fragment." She was like, I'm in a bad, I'm in a, what did she say? She didn't say bad mood, but she was like, I'm getting anxious or whatever it was that she said over a fragment, which again doesn't mean more money, but it's about where you are in the rankings. Why is your mood tied to an inanimate object that actually means nothing? Like, if this is about fun, fun doesn't require that you act like a fool. That's not fun. Can you imagine playing cards with her? If this is how, can you imagine playing cards with her? She would be the sorest loser at the table every day. It wouldn't matter what the game was. She doesn't want to lose. That isn't a mental health issue. That isn't a physical issue. That is a lack of maturity. That is a lack of maturity. Because when you get mature, you realize that you will not always win. You will not always get what you want, but you do your best. And then you can be proud of yourself. She literally makes her audience responsible for whether or not she's happy. Baby girl, let me give you a piece of advice. When your happiness is based solely on what happens externally, I promise you, you are going to find yourself in the pits of hell again. Because nothing will last forever for you except what is real. Happiness only really works when it starts on the inside of you. Because literally you could lose everything. And I learned this in a therapy session because my therapist asked me, like, what am I happy about? What am I proud of? And I'm like, I love my parents the way they treated me. I loved the person that I was in a relationship with at the time. I loved my grandchildren. Like, my grandson was my life. Like, he gave me all of the hope in the world. I was able to focus less on me, what was going on internally with me, and pour it all into him. Well, the first thing I found out was that this little boy that brought me from the brink wasn't my grandson at all. She had lied because his actual father had gone to prison. And she wanted somebody to step in because she was alone. So she had my son take a home DNA test. And then she created the letter. He wasn't my son's at all. So imagine if she hadn't said to me, your happiness needs to start within yourself. And I was devastated. I was devastated. And then I moved to Florida and my son decided to stay. So now I don't even have my son in my life every day. But I'm here and I still have my parents. My mother died unexpectedly in 2019. And my father followed a year and a half later in 2020. And then the cat that I had for 19 years passed away in January of 2021, several months later, from the exact same thing that my mother unalived from. Everything that I had gotten accustomed to being in my life on a daily basis all went away. If I hadn't worked on myself and understand that while everything externally could be taken away, love for myself, love for the Almighty, happiness within myself, I could get through those things. Not that they weren't painful, but that I could see to the other side. See, when my husband passed away, all of the things that propped me up were still there. So when I watch you as a grown woman be swayed by whether you have a fragment or not, which doesn't do anything but show you what rank you are, you're not mature. You still have childlike responses to things. You want to act like you're this advocate for mental health and recovery, and you act like you didn't go through any of it. You still act like a child. Oh, I'm so sorry, Snow Bunny. Believe me, when it happened, I cried like a baby. I'm sorry, Roha. A fragment is something that happens behind the scenes. You get it as you level up. And it's not related to how much money, like it doesn't give you more money. But if you see at the top of my screen, you see something that's called daily ranking. And I'm in League C5. I don't care about that. I just hit daily ranking and I was able to see that I'm in the League C5. And you're in the league based on how many gifts you get. So when I get more gifts, I got out of the D League. Everybody starts in the D League. Everybody starts at D5. And depending on the gifts you get, the higher league you get. And that's right. The more percentage of your gifts you get. So in the D League, D5, TikTok is getting like 70%. In the A League, which is what most people's goal is, you're getting more gifts to stay there, and B, you're getting more of a percentage. So everybody's fighting to be in the A League. I shouldn't say everybody because I'm not. I don't really care. And then as you rock, fragments come at a certain point. I think you start hearing about fragments in like C League. She's in the B League. Her goal is to get to the A League, of course, because she gets more money. But if you bring home $1,000 in your payout on a Wednesday, TikTok has gotten 1,500, 1,700, 1,800. So when people are in like B1, they're getting big money. And so, and I've explained this before, when you're not a live creator, all of this goes over your head. But TikTok drilled, as soon as the live is over, a thing comes up that tells me everything. what league I'm in, how many gifts I got, how many comments I got, what people said. You know, one of the reasons why people are able to clock comments is because I can go back and see who made what comment. Like somebody last live said that my grid was awfully pale. I didn't catch who did it then, but I know who did it now. And since I've been called a race baiter, that comment made sense after the fact. So I went and found out who said it. Because I was like, what do they mean? Like, I have everybody up here. The other day, it was all women. The grid is based on who I watch, not on race, gender, it's who I watched. So, oh, fantastic. I'm glad you're here, boo. So, she said she wasn't going to beg. And then the moment she thought she was going to lose this fictitious fragment, she I'm anxious and I am begging. I don't want to lose the fragment. But let me tell you what the folly in that is. She needs it every day. I am not racist in any way, shape, or form. Right. Texas mom came in and threw galaxies. Of course. Of course. Cause Sweet Sassy, she only needs to convince the 80 people who do. If I don't even know if 80 different people throw for her, to be completely honest. She doesn't need to grow. Right, Sherry. After saying she was broke, and then Sheena was like, "Oh, she has like I can't remember what she called it, but like a fun card." Did Sheena say, "You know what? I don't care if you have the fun card. Don't throw. Go use the fun card on yourself." Yeah, the frou card. Go take you and your husband out to dinner. You sent me enough. And then this was the other funny thing. She's like, because she got her payout on Wednesday, so she went to Walmart. And she was like, I'm going to show you guys my Walmart haul because, you guys paid for it with your gifts. And everything was cheap as hell. You want me to believe that you are in big league, B league, which means I know you're getting a certain amount of money every Wednesday, and everything you had to buy was cheap? Be for real. Thank you, T-Nook. I love your page, by the way. So you're making it clear by the way that you act that you haven't matured. But you're going to need to stay with that same amount of money every single day. So every day, last night, what was it? 8,000 diamonds she needed to keep the fragment. And she's like, let's go. Let's go. We need to keep the fragment. We need this. We need that. The only people winning is you. There's no we. And I wrote it down. Wait. Last night I wrote down, I guess we're speaking French again. Because it's we. There's no we. The only person winning is you. And the idea that other people have to take their money to keep you in a good mood is ridiculous. But while you're here, I'm going to move on to the raising the consciousness. So she had 2 dogs. And one of her dogs was very ill for some time, and she finally had to put it down. And her other dog is depressed. Well, let me say this first. Again, a lack of maturity, that you aren't the least bit curious. Why are you getting medical advice from people in your chat? Is anybody in there a doctor or a nurse? Why does your chat have to teach you everything about everything? Oh, well, you guys told me about this. This is the one, right? This is the one you said. She has, I don't know if she's diabetic or pre-diabetic. I don't know, nor do I care. But when she has dips in her blood sugar, there are tablets that you can take that raise your blood sugar. Your doctor didn't tell you about that? Your doctor didn't tell you about that? Your endocrinologist didn't tell you? Had to get that from the people in your chat? And how do you know that that is what your doctor would want you to take? But again, lack of maturity is a lack of curiosity. So she started to talk about her dog and how her dog is acting different. Why in the world would the people in your chat have to tell you about dog grief? And instead of going, okay, and we know she has more than one device, looking it up, she's asking them for advice. So let me help you out. Dog grief. What you should do, because Sheena, you're doing none of it, by the way. You are doing the least of it by taking her to the doctor on Saturday. But let me help you out. So what is dog grief? Dog grief refers to the emotional pain and sadness a dog may feel after losing a close companion, whether it's a pet, sibling, or a beloved human. Like people, every dog expresses grief in a different way. If you notice that your canine companion is withdrawn or experiencing a change in appetite or sleep pattern after the loss of another pet or human friend, they may be going through their own version of mourning. Are you listening? Are you listening? Since you need your chat to teach you everything, here you go. Symptoms of grief is withdrawal from social interactions, a lack of interest in play or walks, clinginess or seeking comfort. The physical symptoms are a decreased appetite, sleeping more than usual, lethargy. Look that word up because I know you don't know what it is. Emotional symptoms of grief in dogs may include whining or crying, restlessness, signs of anxiety or stress, most of which she has described her dog having. It is not uncommon for dogs to show any of these signs after a loss, and it may take anywhere from a few weeks to a few months for them to get back to themselves. Here's the point. During this time, it's important to support them with lots of love and affection, which means that you might have to get off TikTok and focus on your damn dog that you love so much. Let's keep going. So, how to help them? Vets and behaviorists agree that providing support and comfort to your dog is the best way to help them recover from the loss of another pet or human companion. Like people, they need time to get back to feeling themselves. They've had their companion for years. They may experience more intense grief. While the intensity, signs, and length of time that dogs grieve may vary, the best thing you can do is give them some extra love and attention and be patient as they navigate their loss. Are you paying attention? 1, give your dog time and space to grieve. 2, make sure you're taking screenshots now, or you could just look it up. Provide your dog with comforting scents. Familiar scents can bring comfort to a grieving dog. Now, the dog loves a phone that used to belong to the other dog. And she said that when they take it away, the current dog whines and whines and whines and whines and whines. Why would you take it away for them to whine that long, ma'am? What was the point? If she's whining, give it back. But you don't give a fuck. 3, stick to your routine. The first thing Fedman tells her pet parents with the grieving dog is to keep a consistent schedule, regular feeding times, daily walk schedules, usual bedtime routines. Consistency can provide a sense of security and create familiarity amidst the loss. Just walking up to her while you're live and saying, "You want to go outside?" Well, nope, she's still there. She's still sleeping, so nope. Where is your effort? Where is the care? You just walk up to her, "You want to go outside?" Now, instead of you having to do more, you're going to get a puppy pad so she can just pee and poop inside. Really? Really? That's the most you can do? So then it says, keep your dog mentally and physically active. Let me tell you something. She is so happy that the dog doesn't actually want to do anything because it frees her to do what she really wants to do, and that's to get on TikTok and make money. Balance the time and space needed to grieve with regular opportunities for engagement. You know how you need engagement on TikTok to be successful? How about turn a little to the left and give it to your dog? And finally, and the most basic thing you could do is to spend time with your dog. Extra attention, not just the attention you were used to giving. Extra attention and bonding time can be soothing for a grieving dog. Be sure to spend a lot of quality time, not just walking up and saying, "Do you want to go outside?" Quality time together, whether it's cuddling on a couch. Do you ever sit down? Do you sit down anywhere where the dog could cuddle next to you? Taking longer walks. Do you walk them or do you just throw them outside and let them come back? Or play their favorite games. And if you need advice, play fetch. Take a hike together. Take a day trip. Go to a pet-friendly store and allow your dog to pick out a new toy. See, Sheena, that was a very, very quick Google search. And I had more, and I decided to stop there. Really quick. But you are so focused on your TikTok career or lack thereof, that your everything has become what they say. And this is the thing for the people who watch her, y'all do realize that that's manipulation, right? She doesn't really need y'all to tell her, but she has no other way to really engage. She really has nothing to offer or to say. So she comes to y'all as and makes you feel like you're important to her by you giving her advice that she takes. It is manipulation to keep you engaged, to make you feel like you matter in her life. You don't. The money in your wallet does. The fact that you could be out all day doing whatever you want to do, and you come back at 11 o'clock at night when other people are ready for bed, and they're still supposed to make sure you have your fragment, means you do not care. Because while they should be sleeping, they're being forced to stay awake and throw for you so you don't lose your fragment. But you got to enjoy your day. You got to do what you wanted to do. When do they get to do what they want to do? Because you're live constantly. Today, it'll be from the crack of dawn until 12 o'clock at night. And tomorrow, you'll be like, well, I'm going to be out doing the things I want to do. So are those the days that they get to do what they want to do? Chastity, she was still live at 1:30 this morning. They didn't go to bed until after 1 o'clock this morning, and she is already up. And she said to them, let's see, I wrote it down. She said, let me find it. I took so many notes last night. Oh, I'm sorry. It was 1:45 a.m. when I finally turned it off. And she let them know that today she would be pushing because it's the end of the week and she doesn't care what anybody thinks. So letting them know, you might be up with me at 1:30 in the morning, but I'll be up early and I'll be on all day and I'm going to be pushing. And she doesn't even care if that bothers you. She doesn't care if that you had to be up with her damn near half the night. But be prepared to get up in the morning and we're going to do this again. She was off cleaning. Now, mind you, she started off, she said, I'm stressed because I clean and they just make a mess. I thought Clean Talk was the basis of your TikTok. So if everybody cleaned up behind themselves and you wouldn't have any cleaning to do, no laundry to do, no floors to mop, what would be your content? So why are you complaining about it? She only uses it because she has nothing else. She has nothing, no other content. So cleaning is her content. But this is what's funny. When she cleans, the viewership goes down. The comments stop going back and forth. And she gets mad about it. Ma'am, you are the host. You are the person that is supposed to keep them engaged. That's not Christy's job. For fact, Thomas. For fact. Absolutely psychotic. It's boring as hell in there. I usually watch her and two other people at the same time. Boring as hell. But I capture it all. So the chat got quiet. She wasn't engaging with them. She actually had her back to the phone. And then when she realizes that there's no engagement, people are literally asking, if you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be, ramen or mac and cheese? Now, mind you, because she walks away from the phone, she doesn't know. She's like, ramen or mac and cheese? Well, you walked away. So then she's like, there's no engagement. Do you guys want to battle? No, they don't. But she thinks that because they are engaged or whatever when she battles, that that's what they want. How about you give their wallets a break? How about you give people a week to do what they want with their money? Matter of fact, 2 weeks, because that's a pay period. She said, when I get busy, they leave. Because the people in your chat don't even know what to talk about. There's nothing for your mods to do other than watch the door. Right. She will. She's like, if you want me to be happy and excited, then you guys gotta play. Willow, honey, it's okay if you scroll out. You don't have to apologize. Not around here. Everybody's an adult. Don't ever apologize. Right. Her mods are responsible for keeping people engaged. And at this point, they don't even know what to say. Hi, Rose. I watch and I take notes. Because while my memory remembers a lot of it, I like to be as accurate as I possibly can. And then what I tell people is, you see her name and her at right here. Go watch for yourself. But watch from the outside, because they're watching. She probably stopped watching me when I started talking about the dog. Because, again, even if I didn't like me, if it was going to be advice that I could use in my real life, I might have stuck around. But, why don't you mods, who I'm sure are also listening, give her the advice? You should have took a couple of screenshots for her. Maybe I'll post it so she can come by and look at it at a later date. But she won't, because she'll be like, well, I'm taking her to the vet tomorrow, so I'll let the vet tell me. Well, have at it, boo. Go through spending the money on a vet when you could have started some things at home had you been just a little bit curious. Just a little bit curious. But you didn't give a damn because the dog, and then she actually had a nerve to say to her chat, see, there are things going on in my real life that I don't want to talk about. And then she got mad because apparently somebody said something about the dog bleeding all over the house and blah blah blah. Ma'am, if you want people to stay out of your business, stop telling your business. Doesn't she say that all the time? I'm not going to tell you my business. And then she turns right around. I don't know whether it's to gain sympathy, to have something to talk about, but she starts talking about this dog and how she didn't even know dog grief was a thing. Absolutely, all for one. She didn't even know it was a thing. But then when she found out it was a thing, instead of being curious and looking it up, she kept saying to the chat, well, what about this and what about that? And they're, trying to spit off as much as they can to her. And then her answer was, well, I'm going to take her to the vet, which I don't knock. Please do. But between the day you said it and the vet visit, you didn't think, let me be curious and see what I could do in the meantime? Scram Nana, she falls under the scammer category because there's a spectrum of scamming. You can look on my page for it. It goes from bright red to almost an orange. It is pinned. She's manipulative. She leaves things out to make herself seem more worthy, more desperate. She has all those grown adults who work in her home, and yet she needs y'all to pay for her everything. And then when she buys the stuff, it's cheap as hell. So where is all the money going? Her husband works full time, and she was, quote unquote, able to be a stay-at-home wife. Where is all the money going? Yes, Amanda Bowden is also from Maine. So then, of course, she wasn't on all day. She comes on, what, 11 o'clock last night? With 1 hour. 1 hour to make 8,000 diamonds. 1 hour. And it's like, guys, I don't think we're going to make it. I'm so stressed out and I'm trying not to be anxious, but I'm anxious over an inanimate object. It's not even something that you get to take home. It is literally something on the screen. I need it. And then, of course, then she pops her collar when she gets it. Yeah, guys, we got it. There's no we. We are not in France. It is you that got it. Daisy May facts. They switch the addiction to something else. Often people, and this floats in other areas. There are a number of people who were addicted to food and they get weight loss surgery, right? And then they become addicted to sex or alcohol. Shannon Peaches, when you send a gift, if you see 20 next to it, it's 20 diamonds. If you see, and literally someone sent her a $50 gift. They spent $50. Wait, did they spend 50 or did they spend 90? 100, I mean. I don't know. I don't know if the gifters, because this is the thing. In order for me to give you $50, I have to spend almost 100. They spent 100. Yep, somebody came in last night and spent $100 so she could get a $49.99 gift. Make that make sense. I mean, not for nothing. Why don't you just send her the $50? It would save you. Think about that for a minute, guys. In order for her, and that's partly how you know it's an addiction. Because in order for her to see her name lit up in the TikTok lights, you have to spend double what she actually gets. Every day. This isn't like over the course of a week or over the course of a month. This is every single day. So when she's like, I'm not going to beg anymore, I'm not going to beg unless my fragment is in question, which requires her to meet that every day. I go up and down because I'm not on every day. But I'm not on every day because I'm off doing the research so I could come here in the morning and give it to you. That's why I'm not on every day. I could come on and be like, this is who I saw last time, and be on for an hour and be like, give me, give me, give me. You owe me. And what's so crazy is that people are still coming at me for getting gifts in the live and still coming at me because I do a 30 to 1 hour sub live where we talk about a lot of things, but there is nothing discussed there that doesn't get discussed during the week. And that they're silent on others. Why would I stop? Why would I stop? I'm actually putting in the work, doing the research that I want to do, spending time educating. Why would I stop? Because other people have decided for me, but they're silent on everybody else? Be for real. Pick another fool, because I'm not her. You were literally vibing with her for when? Pathetic Shady. When did I vibe with her? When did you vibe with her siblings who are just as bad? See, Pathetic Shady, if you had been here on Wednesday, you would understand that while everybody else is playing checkers, I'm playing chess. I knew that she might not listen to me in my live. So I went in her sister's live to say everything I wanted to say to Sheena that she wouldn't have heard otherwise. So, no, it wasn't vibing with her sister. I didn't counteract anything her sister said. That wasn't vibing with her. That was making sure that she would hear exactly what I thought. And then she also got to hear her sister agree with me about her, which sets her off all the time. Yes, Cindy, Faye, Jessica, and Sheena are sisters. Yeah, I don't care. It's okay if people don't understand. And Pathetic Shady, I appreciate that you, well, I wish you would have asked instead of telling me, but it's okay. Yes, Fifi and Jessica are twins. I'm sorry, I always say Faye. It is Fifi. Her name is Felicia. Felicia and Jessica are twins, and I believe Sheena's their older sister, right? But it's okay. You listen to other people, and they might steer you wrong. But I wasn't vibing with her. I was using her to make a point. And I don't mean using her in a disrespectful way. I mean recognizing that Sheena stalks her sister's page. And I guarantee you that people ran to Sheena and said, your sister is talking about you with digital. And you know how I know she watched? Because when she came back on, she was like, now they're calling me a scammer. I'm not going to ask at all for anything. So it worked. So you could think of it as commiserating with Fifi. It wasn't. Oh, I know they're toxic. And I said to her, if your mother is telling you that you guys should get off TikTok, y'all should consider it. Any other questions before I move on? Because I'm here for it. I'll wait a minute. What hustle? Willow, who's mean to her? I just spent 4 minutes of my life helping her understand what she could do with her dog. Who's mean to her? Mean implies that I'm being nasty, that I'm lying on her, that I'm not speaking the absolute truth. Tell me where I lied on her. Anybody? Can anybody say what I lied about? Malice. Can you define malice for me? I'll wait for the definition. Can someone can no, I don't want somebody. I want the person who put malice in the comments to define malice. Yeah, Melanie, I bet. I'm waiting. You put malice in the comments. Oh, you're telling me to look it up. Okay. Well, since you can't define it for us while you throw out a word, hateful intent. Where am I being hateful? Describe. Come in the box, actually. Would you like the box? Ooh, were you making spaghetti sauce from scratch? Alley Cat, can somebody explain to me how that's defending me by putting malice in the comments? Well, who said malice? Well, I appreciate you defending me. But who said malice? Thank you, Simply Nancy. I appreciate it. I'm sorry if you got caught up in what somebody else had to say. The intention or desire to do evil, ill will. Well, if me telling the truth is the intent to be evil, then wouldn't it be more evil the person who's actually doing it versus the person who is just describing it to other people? Oh, okay, Simply Nancy. I'm sorry. I apologize. I thought you were saying that I was doing malice. I apologize. I'm sorry. I only see the comments are moving, and when I just see somebody put malice in the comments after Pathetic Shady said that I was commiserating with her sister. First, she said I was commiserating with her, and I never was commiserating with Sheena. So then when I see malice in the comments, I'm like, I do malice? Of course, I know what it means, but so I apologize. I sincerely apologize. Too many things happening at once. I didn't see the original comment. It is very hard to keep up with the comments, especially when I'm looking away at my notes and coming back. I try to. She was adding to your list of how many people will put her down. Thank you. I appreciate it, Nancy. Again, I apologize. I apologize. I apologize. I always apologize when I get it wrong. I don't have no problem doing that. None whatsoever. I just saw Malice and thought, what? I do Malice? No. But I agree with you on that. On it. Well, Nancy, guess what? I'll never forget your name now. Thank you, Missy Muffy. I appreciate it. So, let me get back to the notes for a second. This was the other funny thing. Let's she also has a cat and I think guinea pigs, right? So the cat was whining and she was like, "No, I'm not giving you any more treats." And these were her words. I'm not putting any words in her mouth. She said, "You've been throwing up all over the place because I've already given you too many treats." What? So she's been throwing up all over the place, and that's what took you to stop giving her treats? You don't read the back of the package where it'll say, like, no more than 10 a day? Or you don't know with your own cat how much is too much? See, this is what I mean. I don't even have to wait for you to actually do the worst. I just listen. And as a cat mom, what? I'm always willing to listen. And I'm always okay with being wrong because I don't hold myself to a perfection standard. I don't. And I don't hold anybody else to a perfection standard. My standard is I do the very best that I can to be as accurate as possible. And when someone can accurately correct me, I take it on board. I will apologize when I'm wrong. I will make a correction if what I've said is wrong. And I did that not too long ago. I think with Misha, where I questioned whether her story was accurate about not getting her check. And then when I heard the recording of her talking to her boss and he was apologizing, I came back here and said, I have a correction. She, in fact, did not get her check when everybody else did. I have no problem apologizing because I'm not a TikTok god. Like, I get it wrong sometimes. I be so fast to be done with all of the stuff I got to do. I get misspellings on the grid. I realized last week, I mean Wednesday, it wasn't until I uploaded it to TikTok that I put the wrong date. It happens. It's okay. And it's okay for you guys to make mistakes too. Yes, the vet visit for the dog is tomorrow. Maybe she should take the cat and find out why it's throwing up. No, it's not a matter of me beating myself up. I don't want anybody else to feel bad. You know what I mean? So we got the cat throwing up. Then we said that we needed 8,000 diamonds. And I said, this is what I wrote down. Because sometimes I write down my commentary. She said, no one else. No, I wrote down, again, no one else can have a life when Sheeta wants to get what she wants. So to get things moving, what did she do? She battled Christy. And then felt some type of way when people started throwing for Christy. Make that make sense. Did you think that Christy would just get 0 and you would get all of the gifts so that you could have these fictitious wins while you battle your mod? Shayna, listen. So at 145, I gave up. So what she does, and this is a slick thing to do, she goes live at 11 because at 12:01, thank you, April. At 12:01, everybody does their daily heart me, and they can start over again. If she starts at midnight, when it comes to 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, she's already made a bunch of gifts towards her fragment. Diabolical. Diabolical. And still upset that people weren't talking. Really, Josh? Oh, well, he's going to have to make it to the grid. Well, I should say they, because isn't it him and a woman together? Is it his woman or his sister? They look alike to me. Hey, football head. Oh, I wish people had more discretion, but they don't. And he's new. He's newer to it. Okay, I gotta hurry up because we still have the other thing to do. So I'll still be watching. And I'll still be playing chess and not checkers. I do my best not to just make a move because it seems like the obvious thing to do. And I do 99.999% of it without needing to go real life. The one time I did is because I find that Carrie is doing illegal activity. Illegal activity. Gave y'all the statute and everything. And then when you do illegal activity on the internet, I reported her to that agency as well. So is me reporting a crime worse than the crime? I thought we see something, we were supposed to say something. I reported a crime. Okay. But it's all good. All right. Let's do the bracket. Princess, are you here to write it down? So let me show y'all what the bracket looks like. This is the full bracket. This is with all, okay, thank you. This is what all of it looks like. Block 1 to 4. Okay? With all the picks. Now, you didn't do words. I don't know what that means. Oh, don't worry. I'm doing this first, and then I'll get to Jordan in a second. So yeah, let's do the bracket. So let's see. Block. This is gonna get tough, y'all. When I was putting this together, I was like, it's gonna get tough now. Okay, so we're gonna do the poll. The poll will be in the top left-hand corner. Click on it, and you will pick the name. Now let's make sure I can remember how to do this. Okay. I hate the way she does her name because I'm going to just do S's because next time. Well, if she makes it past this, I doubt she will. Okay, 1 minute. The first poll is up. Maggie versus Stud Soldier. Yep, I did the bracket just like NCAA basketball. Sure did. And what we are picking for is not the best player, but the worst. And it's not just the scammer themselves, it's their mods and enablers as well. Because that's what we want to do on the 18th, which is Digital After Dark. I don't know. Because who she might have to come up against. I don't know. Okay, 7 seconds. Right. Exactly. Exactly, Susan. Maggie, 85%. Who's surprised? I'm not. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, the vet. Yeah, she is. She always was taking him to the vet tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. She's always said that. But my issue isn't with her taking him to the vet. My issue is even after you found out that your dog was suffering from grief, you didn't do anything differently other than say, I'm going to take him to the vet. You take the advice from your people all the time. Why didn't you take this? Okay, let's focus. We're not talking about her. Let's see. Lord. Remember, we got to do 2 layers, so hold on, I'm not going through all of that. Okay, I don't even know why I did this, but it's Tim and Angela versus Pookie. And the Pookie is the woman who used to be like horror lover queen. And then before that, she was Dr. Pepper lover. She's the one that needed $100 for a shoes and coat, and then needed $40 for groceries, and then dropped it to $20 so that she could. Mabel Rose, do me a favor, put it in the poll up at the top. It's on the top left. You just touch it, the poll comes up, and you're able to vote. We already know who it's gonna be, but I gotta let it play out. Oh shoot. Okay. It was Tim and Angela. I don't think anybody is surprised about that. Okay, wait a minute. So that's block 1. Let's post block 2. Okay. This one might be a tight one. Okay, so this is the Caitlyn that sits in the closet. That's why it says it in the poll. She she isn't the one who has the dogs. This is the one that's 11. Bucket, do me a favor. Hit the poll at the top. Shanna, I know, but it is what it is. I'm not worried about it. Yeah. Wait till we get to the next one. I know Becky because they got wind of who she really is. And when they started to ask her about it, she wasn't happy. So they started to talk amongst themselves. Tristan. eh, Oh, hold on. Okay, Tim Nash. What is your name? Georgetta. If you notice, Tim Nash went against Tristan Pizza and people picked Tim Nash. So we already did we did the best out of 32 already. So some of the people who would have been here may not be here. Okay, we knew that was going to be Tim Nash. Come on. But this one? Oops, come on. Okay, it's couple versus couple. Oh, yeah, Bella? Maybe. Oh, yes, Stacy. This is the scammer bracket. So we're picking who we think is the worst, and not only that they're bad, but that they have a bunch of mods and enablers who make it even worse for everybody else. Hey, Fendi, no problem, no problem. Bella, let me tell you something. It's okay, Bess and Devin. It's not about going after them. It is about holding alive on a Saturday evening when a lot of people are available so that they could understand that they're being manipulated and taken advantage of by people who they think they're just being kind to. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Okay, block 3. This is a good one, too. This is J. Paul versus Face. Fendi, I know, honey. I know. I know this one is gonna be hard. Wait till we get to the next level. And on the next one, you guys are just going to have to trust me because I'm not going to do the blocks and then come back. That would take too long. Roja, I understand. She's asking for a computer. I can't. Of course she did. 8 seconds. And reason why I want to do, of course, J. Paul. J. Paul by a lot, actually. Oh, this is another good one. We got Sheena versus Detroit Nike. That's a good one. That's a good one. Yes, Darlene, she does. Yep, I told y'all. You wait till you get to the next level. We got Maggie versus Tim and Angela, Tim Nash versus Beth and Devin. And now it's going to be J. Paul against who? Right, Texas. Find a reason. Oh, thank you, Pauline. 12 seconds left. Make a choice. That's Nope, it can't be 50-50. You gotta pick one. Oh, that was close. But Sheena wins. That was close. Okay, wait. We gotta go to block 4. You know what I should have did? I did this all wrong, but it's okay. I should have did it. I should have just did it while it was up. Okay, well, we'll do this one that way. That was dumb on my part, but we'll do this one that way. Okay, we have Gabby and Jalen. And let me say, Gabby isn't even up here for all that she's done. She is up here for getting all of that money for an attorney and dropping the case. For me, anyway. What am I doing to y'all? Listen, y'all came up with the names. I just put them together. And then, not for nothing, that book she wrote, that pamphlet, and got people to pay for it with all of the spellings. Wow. Oh, wow. I'm surprised. I'm surprised it wasn't closer. Okay. It was Gabby by almost, she had almost 70%. Okay, edit. This is another good one because the scam is different, but it's still a scam. You mean Kanisha or Kiki, the one with the kids? There's a little you could see the countdown on the top left. It's like a little clipboard with a check mark. Hello, hello. So just click on it and it'll come up and you can pick. AB baby, real life comes first over TikTok always. Don't worry, you don't gotta apologize. Right, Bella? And so that's also why we. Oh, wow, Carrie. That was quick. I mean, it was the same minute, but the way it came up on my end. Okay, so while this is what I should have did. We should have just went through and done it all the way to the next level. I apologize that I wasn't that bright. Should have did it that way. It would have been faster. But here we go. It's Gabby versus Carrie Walls. A 1 versus a 2. Okay. Okay. Woo, impossible. That's funny. A 1 versus a 2. Yes, sweet Sasso. Nope, you gotta pick one. I think most of them are gonna be close at this point. I know, and it's early in the morning, and you have to make these decisions. Meow, do me a favor. Hit the clipboard at the top and put your vote in there. That's the only way it's gonna count. Up. Do 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 do. Gabby won. Wow, I'm surprised at that. Okay, wait a minute. Block. We're back at block 1. This is why I said I should have did it all at the same time. I apologize. Here goes another one. Gonna be tight. Gabby won for block 4. Here we go. It's Maggie versus Tim and Angela. DJ, we are going to do a digital after dark on the 18th, and we're going to be talking about the scammers, their enablers, and their mods. And so I wanted, instead of me just picking, we're doing an NCAA type bracket of who's the worst. Yep. I know, but this is another 1 versus 2. Let me just tell y'all something. This is exactly how the NCAA tournament is sometimes. Wow. Okay, this is y'all. It's 425 of y'all. I can't. Well, I can't see who voted, but dang, 197 people. What are y'all afraid? I'm not gonna reveal who voted for who. Tim and Angela, 55%. Maggie, 44%. Okay. Oh, thank you. Now, I'm pushing so many buttons. Here is 2. We're almost done, guys. Okay. Tim Nash versus Beth and Devin. If you aren't sure how, hit the little clipboard with the little blue check mark up at the top where you see the countdown and pick Tim Nash or Beth and Devin. Correct, Crystal. That one was easy? Okay. White Sox, if you jump up here and bother her, I'm going to hurt you. Go back to sleep on your self-warming pad. Tim Nash. Okay. That wasn't even as close. Well, we're going to have a Tim versus Tim. Okay, last one. I'm sorry, it's nerve. You guys are hilarious. This is the last one. You woke her up for no good reason. You know she's only going to let you rub on her for a second. And then she's... Hey, see? Leave her alone. I'm sorry if y'all had to hear her hiss. She will let him lick her like 3 times. And then it's over with. No more. She's like, I'm your brother, Damon. I'm not. Okay. Sheena as a 3. The clipboard is under my name. It says it has a countdown. That's crazy. Good morning, General. Sweets, I'm sorry, baby. Oh, yes, it is close. Don't fail me now. 6 seconds. J. Paul it is. So, I'm just going to put it in here because I can't really fix it. But let me see. So open the clipboard. This isn't a vote. This isn't a vote. This is just so you can see who the final four are. This isn't a vote. So this is the work we have to do between now here, and let me do this just so I can remind you. Right, congratulations. Congratulations to all the winners. What is taking so long? Jesus Christ. So on Saturday, October 18th, at 8 p.m., we are going to talk about the mods, the enablers, and the scammers themselves. So between now and Thursday, we need to watch so we can get down who enables them and who mods for them. So that I want to know by Wednesday, so that on Thursday they can get an invitation. Will what be on YouTube? The live, or like, will I post it to YouTube? Of course. But everything will happen on TikTok. And so that's that next Saturday, not this Saturday, next Saturday night, we'll be calling them out, but they'll get an opportunity to come. But I'm going to say whatever I'm going to say. Let's be very clear. So yes, pull out a notebook, pull out a piece of mail, whatever. And yeah, we know about Miss May Hakuna Matata. For sure, she'll be on there. Without question. But because I can't watch everybody all the time, I do touch grass occasionally. And next week, Mr. is off the middle of the week. So he's going to be in my ear. I'm going to need some help. Bet Mark For facts, Luna. For facts. I absolutely touch grass. I have my babies, my grandchildren, my man, my house, my family. I can't do it all. I do a lot of it, but I don't do it all. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Wait a minute. What am I closing the book for? We still have one more person to talk about. I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm taking you over. I apologize. And we still have to talk about this. Now, first of all, let me say this. Jordan Paul could try to use anything that I say to her advantage. Y'all know she knows my name because I cover her. Oh, she thought she was slick. She thought she was gaining something. I don't care how you think I feel about anybody or how you feel about anybody. Doxing someone's address under any circumstances is wrong. I don't care who says what. Well, this is what Jordan does. Jordan grabs a story, any story that she can use to manipulate people, and holds on to it for dear life until there is a new one. She doxed Top 4 Ways or TikTok Beggars. See, the enemy of my enemy never becomes my friend. If I find that you are wrong, and I'm not saying that Top Four Ways is my enemy, don't misunderstand. But if you think that I'm going to collaborate with you on your nonsense because you think that I have an issue with somebody else in the tent, please go find some grass to touch, because it won't be here. I don't do that. Amanda was released from jail. So she is where she is. I don't know. I do know that she tried to lie to her family and say that she wasn't arrested, that that was an old mugshot. But come on. Sapuki, if somebody shows me proof that her dad paid for her hotel room, I will take it. Otherwise, that doesn't make sense to me. So somebody give me the proof, because that doesn't make sense to me. Listen, you you could try to use me, but it's not going to work because I find your behavior to be deplorable. Sapuki, give me the proof. Because even the hotel saying that doesn't mean that that's accurate. You have to remember that she is in collaboration with them so that nobody can call her room directly. Nobody is supposed to give information. And so, why would her father pay for her to be in a hotel, but he didn't help her? He didn't prevent her from being evicted from the last 5 places. Again, that doesn't make sense to me. Wait, what? I missed it. Oh, 100%. Calling people's hotels, trying to get in touch with them, trying to talk to people, that doxes their location as well. But Daenerys, a parking lot at a hotel is not a public location. It's a private business. Their parking lot is a part of their private business. Now, if you stand on the street, you can do whatever you want. But, right, somebody's home driveway is their private business. But if you put photos on the internet on a public platform, you have foregone your privacy. Like, we can't know that she's behind on her payments. And then when she does something to us, be mad about it. That is why that's part of the reason why I don't need to go there. Right. Everything should be off limits. But if I feel like it's okay for me to go that far, then it gives somebody else the right to go a little further. And then someone else will go a little bit further. And then someone else will go a little bit further. But once you put something on the internet, on a public platform, you can't cry privacy after that. Right. People's loved ones, the loved ones that have already passed on. Like, if you require that to make any point, you've already lost. I don't need to know a single thing about where she is to talk about what she does. To talk about the fact that she is on here every day saying that she has until 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning to pay for a room. You can't now, the whole story about her getting the $300 back, Cash App kept it. See, this is where you lose me on that story, because the issue wasn't between you and Cash App. The issue was between the hotel and you. The hotel had to release it. And Cash App said they can hold the hold for 30 days. Now, my question is this: if the hotel still had a hold of $300, why didn't they just say, we're going to keep it? We're not going to release it back. But then for you to end the story with Cash App just kept it, that's not usually how that happens. Ashley, I've never had an issue either. But if Cash App suspects that the money is coming from a bad place, they will hold it. Yeah, I did too. Yeah, Matilda is a man. And see, where are you at? I'm just going to say the light because I don't know how to say the beginning. 2 weeks ago, she got paid. And that's really how she claims she paid the 116 a night. But then she tried to say, but that's why she's broke. So you only make $400 every 2 weeks? Because you haven't made the car payment. The car is still off. I didn't need to see it to know that the car is still off. But what y'all have to remember is, with the car being off, everything she eats, everything she feeds the dogs have to be delivered. Unless she can walk to the store. Her money is going somewhere, but it's not going where it's supposed to go. Cindy, I'm not sure. But if this continues, it will be. Right, Shanna. Why would you cancel the app? And you want to know how wrong that is? Because she has another Cash App account. Well, Marian, we have something called Zelle, which is hooked directly to our bank account, which is also very secure. But there were a lot of people who couldn't get a bank account. So PayPal, Cash App, and people didn't want certain things linked to their bank. I use PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. I have them all. I use them for different things. Wait, right. You said it. It went from 70 to 75 and now 90. Why would a random Thursday night be $90? I caught that too. And every night she is terrified she's gonna get kicked out. But she's never kicked out. Crystal, good point. No, Fendi. Right, AP baby. Berries, that makes more sense. Right, Kite Girl. I agree. She was saying that she needed it for yesterday. Well, for last night. Because she claims she works. So how could she beg? But this is the thing. Remember when she was clearly working, she would beg on her break. So I think that she's playing her game all day and then waits until when she thinks she should be off and comes on. Ashley, then let her wear the two pairs. So what? Let her wear it. Who gonna stop her? If that's her style, let it be her style. She can wear two different pairs of shoes if she wants to. That's right. Let her know that she has body autonomy from right now. You found her LinkedIn? Well, she said she lied about her job on LinkedIn so people wouldn't know. I'm not mad at that. I would probably do it too if I was a scammer. Why are you on LinkedIn at all? You act like you've had some gigantic career. Girl, bye. At the end of the day, doxing on either side is unacceptable. Colleen, she never said she worked for the hospital. She says she does customer service, answering phone calls. And when she can't answer them, she escalates them. Yeah, she got the money. Hilarious. Well, she did say she was going to find out where she works. So it is what it is. Oh yeah, I ended at 1:45. I was like, you have to be up at 6:30 and talk for 3 hours. What are we doing? Go to bed. Yeah, I could right. I could hear her saying, bruh, I answered the question already. Oh Lord, y'all cracked me up. Wait a minute, what? Using UPS to get packages, I just got a report that UPS is disposing of a bunch of packages because they can't figure out how to get it past customs because it's a rule for everybody differently. One day it's this rule, so they're disposing of a lot of packages. Just so you are aware. So we have the final four. You guys have the task. I'm gonna go take a nap now. White Sox is asleep. Let me not say his name too loud. Why he opened his eyes just that quick? The 18th should be fun. I hope all of you attend. Well, clearly people know that I'm over because they're starting to leave. I want you all to have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful weekend. Even if you only get to go outside for a little while, go outside. And you want to know something else that I do? There are places in the world that I may never see. I have a A, B, and a C bucket list. A is what I should say. C are the things that are very realistic. Like I see it happening soon. B is something that I know I'm gonna do, but might not be able to do it soon. And A are the things of my dreams. Because I thought to myself, if I only have an A, I will always be wanting. If I don't get it, I'll feel so much regret. So I made a B and a C. I have 3 bucket lists. But one of the things I do is that if there is somebody who travels around the world, especially the places I have no desire to go, I watch the show. So on Netflix, they have Travels with My Father, which is hilarious. It is a British comedian and his dad. And his dad is a stuck up, he wants the 5-star lifestyle. And the son is like, I'm taking you on a backpacking trip you should have did as a teenager. That is one. The second one is Travels with Eugene Levy, the father from American Pie and from Schitt's Creek. And he is similar. He doesn't like foreign food, foreign places. He goes somewhere, he stays in the hotel. And they were able to get him to explore. If you can't get out of your bubble, watch somebody else getting out there. It's illuminating. It's illuminating. So please hug your loved ones because tomorrow is not promised. Oh, yeah, I do have a song. I do have a song. Please perform some form of self-care. You get to define what it is for yourself, but please do it. It's important. Think about it like they do on an airplane. They always tell you to put the mask on yourself before you put it on somebody else, because if you pass out, you can't help anybody around you. If your mental health, if your emotional self, if your spiritual and physical self are not whole, how can you be there for those that you love? So please. Oh, that sounds great, Sangria Queen. That sounds amazing. I love you all. You are my inspiration for getting up every morning and staying up late at night so that I can bring you the facts and add my commentary. So let me leave you with this. Echo. Play Say So by Doja Cat.